Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Turnips and Tangerines. I'm Lynn, and today we are going to be making crispy chicken fingers with honey mustard sauce. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our honey mustard sauce, put that in the refrigerator, and then we're going to bread our chicken tenders, which they're the little strips. You can use regular chicken breasts and cut them into size also, but they had chicken tenders on sale at the store, so I thought I'd pick those up and just give them a real quick breading, a real simple breading, and fry them up and serve them with a honey mustard sauce. So the first thing we're going to get started on is our honey mustard sauce. So let's get going. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is make our honey mustard sauce, and it's a real quick and easy sauce that you can use for so many different things. You can dip just about anything into here, like pretzels, chicken strips, pork tenderloin strips that you bread, whatever you like honey mustard sauce on. This is a good recipe to try. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we need 1/2 cup of honey. And we're just going to pour this into my little doodad here, my little cup. And this is our special honey from Andy, our friend Andy. Ooh, and I got a mess going on, but that's okay. I'll just lick that right off here. There we go. And this is 1/2 cup of honey. And we get our honey from our friend Andy. I didn't get to watch him this year. I had planned on going over to his house and watching him do his honey, but they were so busy this summer, I didn't even have time. Well, he was busy. I wasn't busy, but he was. And we just never came up with a time for it to go over there. So I didn't get to go this year, but I am going to make a point to go next year. Let me move this sticky stuff over here and put that over there. And then we're going to use 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. And I'm just using, an off-brand. I normally do use the good stuff. I'm a Grey Poupon person. But I used all that up, so I always make sure I have an extra container of Dijon mustard, because so many recipes call for Dijon mustard and I love it. So, we're going to add that to this, and we're going to get all that out. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of just plain old everyday French's, everyday yellow mustard. Now, I suppose, oh, here it comes good. 2 tablespoons. And we have 1 here. And we're working on 2. I do have a recipe that calls for adding some chili powder to a honey mustard sauce. That's a different recipe I have. That one is very good also, but I thought for this recipe, for the chicken tenders, I would just use this one. This is something a little different. It's, just real basic. And I'm going to just put you a little close. The mustard's important too for flavor and things like that. But if you don't use a real good mustard or a honey, your honey mustard sauce isn't going to taste real well. So you got to use a pretty good honey, I think. That's my personal opinion. And then I think the mustard comes second. That does not look good. So, on to the chicken tenders. This is our sauce, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and just let it sit for a little bit. In fact, I think maybe I'll just set it on the cupboard. I don't want the honey to get too hard in the refrigerator. So, now we're going to work on our crispy chicken tenders. Okay, we're all done making our honey mustard sauce, which was 1/2 cup of good honey with 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard and 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. And we mix that up in a bowl, and we have that sitting over on the cupboard. I was going to refrigerate it, but I thought, yeah, I better not. The honey might get a little, you know, stiff. And so that's sitting over on my cupboard. And right now I have, I'd say 2 pounds of turkey, 2 pounds of chicken tenderloins that I cut in half so that they were a little bit, I don't really want to pick one up, but I could here, I guess, use my finger. And I cut them into strips about, this size. You know, you don't want them too thick and you don't want them too thin either. That way they'll kind of all, you know, cook at the same time. I'll try to put the thicker ones in with the thicker ones, vice versa. And I set those aside. I just rinsed them off and cut them off, or cut them in half and trimmed them up just a little bit. They were really good ones. I believe those are Purdue. Bag here, in my baggie here, I have 2 cups of just all-purpose flour. I have about, a 1/4 teaspoon to almost a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And I have a teaspoon of seasoned salt. And that's the only seasoning I have in here. I didn't want to, you know, make it into a real, you know, heavy-duty tasting breading. I wanted the simplest breading that I could come up with, and that was pretty simple, I thought. So that's in here. And then I'm just going to mix this up real lightly here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up dredging my chicken in some milk here. This is just 1.5 cups of just regular old milk. You could use buttermilk if you wanted to. I could, you know, even make my own buttermilk and squeeze in a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to leave it as this. I kind of want the taste of the sauce to come through, and when you dip it in there, and sometimes I don't think you need to overdo your breading and overdo your, you know, everything else. You could also, to this milk, if you wanted to use a buttermilk, you could, and add a little Tabasco sauce. I've done that already. I've used, buttermilk, and then, like a Tabasco sauce and some other, you know, like Creole seasoning. I've done that already. I've breaded it all different ways. This time I just wanted to go a little simpler route. And what we're going to end up doing here is I'm going to put the chicken tenders into the milk, put them into the flour, shake it up, and put it on my tray. So that's what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to do that while my oil is heating up in the pan, and I will be back in a flash. Add another one, a real simple batter here. I didn't want to do anything real intense. There we go. I guess we can move you down here a little bit, and you might want to be able to see it a little better. Maybe, maybe not. And certainly hear it. Yeah, let's do this a little closer here, just for this part here. Crowd the pan. I have my little tongs. Ooh, come on. There we go. It shouldn't take too long to make. These are also a really nice thing to make, like for a football game or something like that. You got some, you know, people over, you can get these done ahead of time very easily. Just set them on your drain rack over here, and when they're drained real well, you can put them in your oven at like 200 degrees just to keep them nice and warm. I keep making them. That's what I do. I think I can add one more. Yeah. And this is, like I said, just regular old corn oil. Yeah, set this tray aside. I won't need this fork, I don't think. sure. And we will move this over here. And when that's done, we will put on our wrap here. Yeah, just keep on frying them up. Get them all ready. Served with our honey Dijon mustard sauce. There we go. You don't want to crowd the pan a whole lot because then it takes them longer to cook. So we're just going to let those cook real good. Okay, you want to continue frying up your chicken tenders or crispy chicken fingers until they are nice and golden brown. As you can see, they're really looking good. So I am just going to put them over here to drain. And they all look really good and yummy. I didn't even check for sure how long it took to fry these because I think it just depends on how thick they are, the hot temperature of your oil, you know, all those factors. So I think that's all, you know, all adds into it. So I can't really say. Till they're golden brown. How's that? I'm just going to add the rest of these right now. And we're going to continue frying these until they're all done. And then we will be back and I will serve them with our honey mustard sauce. So I'm going to keep on frying here till they're all fried up. Our crispy chicken tenders are all done, and here they are. Don't they look good? And fried them until they were golden brown. And here is our honey mustard sauce. I was a little brain stop there for a minute. And there we go. And I'm going to try one of these. And I'm just gonna look at how nice and done the chicken is inside. Nice and tender, not all, you know, pink and all yucky like that. Sometimes you bite into something chicken, oh God. One thing I hate is chicken that is not done. That and fish. Ugh. Okay, now here we go. I'm going to take a little bite. Very, very good. Set that there. Dunk that in the sauce. And there we go. Here we have it. Chewy. Crispy chicken fingers with honey mustard sauce. And these are really good. And they weren't hard to make at all. They were good. Oh. Nice and tender. Those are good. Yummy. There you go. My dogs are coming in. Go for it. Hope you enjoyed this segment of Turnips Tangerines, and I hope you stop back again. And I hope you like this recipe and give it a thumbs up and a like and subscribe and all that other fun stuff. See you next time. Here I'm cooking with Lynn at Turnips and Tangerines.